Good morning. How have you been? I'm hoping that your day's been fine and that you're ready for this day's learning activities. Find a good place to stay while watching this lesson, and in case you are with a lot of people, do not forget to wear your mask. First off, let's listen to the conversation of two friends, Sam and Marie.
Hey Sam, I'm already hungry. I'm going out for snacks. How about you?
Oh, I want to buy food too. I feel like eating french fries and vanilla fudge sundae.
I'm having tinalas from Aling Celis. I'm craving the mouth-watering noodles sprinkled with roasted garlic and spring onions. Why don't you have one too? I think it's healthier than the calorie-packed french fries that you love so much.
I got a different taste from yours and I haven't had fries in a while.
Come on, I thought you're on diet. Don't you know that one serving of french fries is 125 calories? Besides, I've read of studies saying that consuming them has been linked to weight gain.
Okay, you win. Let's have quinolas instead.
Can you tell me what Sam and Marie are talking about? You're right. What food were they planning to eat? Exactly. They have different food preferences. What happened? Were they finally able to agree on the same food? What made them agree on the same food? That's correct. Marie convinced Sam that eating French fries is not good for her diet. She supported this further by saying that according to studies, consuming French fries has been linked to weight gain. So, you'll notice that in the conversation, Marie was able to change Sam's mindset. She was able to do this by presenting a logical reason. In the case of French fries as being unhealthy, she cited studies that supports her claim. Now, can you tell me what is the process of convincing others to change their minds about a particular issue or topic? Correct! Persuasion is the act or process of presenting arguments to move, motivate, or change your audience's mind. Students like you encounter persuasion at every turn of your lives, on public billboards, during nearly every television show, on the internet, on your cell phones, and even in schools. These things have a specific purpose, to sell something to you. However, teenagers like you rarely think precisely about how the text, sounds, and images in these advertisements have been carefully crafted to persuade you to buy a product or service. But if you look closely and think critically, you will find out that these techniques are not far from those that you have already used in your own persuasive writing. The competency on which our lesson is anchored is use a variety of persuasive writing techniques. Meanwhile, the specific targets for today's lesson include: describe the different persuasive techniques, analyze the persuasive styles used in statements and ads, and finally, write persuasive statements to promote a local landmark, a product in a poster, a drawing, or a video advertisement. Today's lesson aims to improve your critical media literacy. By knowing the basic rhetorical components of advertising that you have been exposed to every day, you can begin to understand how to construct your own messages to convey the meanings you intend and to evoke the responses you expect. Becoming more media literate allows you to create messages of your own so that you can communicate clearly, effectively, and purposefully.
Now, let's have a fun game. I'll show you two pictures and I'll ask you to take a closer look at them. Then, you're going to tell me which of the two you prefer better than the other. Let's start! Your mother said that she's buying you a jacket. Which of these jackets would you choose? Is it this one or this one? Why did you like the first jacket? Right, you saw J-Hope of BTS and immediately found a liking for the jacket that he is wearing. You went out to have a milk tea. Which of these will you have? A or B? You chose the buy one take one over the single order of milk tea. Why is that? Yes, of course. You'll get more value for the money that you're going to pay because there's an extra milk tea which you can give to your friend. Your crush is giving you chocolates for Christmas. Which of these chocolates will you pick? Is it this one or this one? Nice choice! You chose Ferrero Rocher because of the fancy words, a precious gift for someone you love, which perhaps made you feel kilig to the bones.
Going back to the reasons for making the choices you made a while ago, it all sums up to one thing. You were convinced to choose that one rather than the other because of something. Can you tell me the word for convincing or changing other people's minds using other various techniques? Yeah, you're right. It's persuasion. You were persuaded to choose something because there is something in the way the option is presented that made you change your mind.
Abstraction. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher who lived in the 4th century. He was an influential thinker and wrote on many subjects. One area in which he was particularly interested was rhetoric. That is, the art of persuasive speaking or writing. He even wrote a book entitled On Rhetoric in which he explains his theories of persuasive language and speech. Most significantly, he expounds on the concepts of ethos, logos, and pathos as tools for persuasive language. A lot can be learned about the art of persuasion from these 3 concepts, and once understood, they could be easily applied to our own persuasive speaking and writing. Ethos is a Greek word meaning character. In terms of persuasive language, it is an appeal to authority and credibility. Ethos is a means of convincing an audience of the reliable character or credibility of the speaker or writer, or the credibility of the argument. It is an important tool of persuasion because if you get your audience to see you or your argument as credible and trustworthy, it will be much easier to persuade them. In our first example, when you chose the Fila jacket worn by J-Hope, you were persuaded because you relied on the popularity of ETS, where J-Hope is a member. When you rely on the reputation or character of somebody to endorse or convince you, the technique used is ethos. Another persuasive technique is logos. Logos is a Greek word meaning a word or reason. In rhetoric, it is an appeal to logic and reason. It is used to persuade an audience by logical thought, fact, and rationality. Logos can be a useful tool of persuasion because if you can prove an argument through logical and sound reasoning, your audience is more likely to be persuaded. In the previous choosing game we had, you said that having 2 milk tea is preferable than getting only one for the same price. In this scenario, at the back of your mind, your brain is telling you that you get more for a particular amount, hence, the buy one take one is a better choice. When you are persuaded due to reasons based on logic and reason, the technique used is logos. Finally, the third persuasive technique proposed by Aristotle was pathos. Pathos is a Greek word meaning suffering or experience, and it is used in persuasive speech as an appeal to the emotions of the audience. Pathos is a way of creating a persuasive argument by evoking an emotional response in the audience or reader. You can use pathos when trying to persuade by appealing to an audience's hopes and dreams, playing on their fears or worries, or appealing to their particular beliefs or ideals. In the choice between a no-label chocolate and the one that tells you with words like love and precious, you chose the second because love and precious made you feel special and appreciated. When someone uses words to appeal to your emotions, the technique used is pathos. In summary, the 3 techniques used in persuasion according to Aristotle are ethos, logos, and pathos. Ethos refers to the appeal to the credibility of the speaker or character. Logos is appeal to logic or reason, while pathos is appeal to the emotion. Now, let's find out if we can determine the different persuasive techniques used by advertisers in the following selected posters. First, tell the persuasive technique used and then in one sentence, tell how the technique was used. Let's have this example first. What do you think was the technique used in this poster? That's correct. Smart used Ethos in this ad. By having Yunbin and Yejin as endorsers, the telecommunications company are leveraging on their popularity to convince fans to patronize their service. Now, it's your turn to determine the persuasive technique used in the following posters, and don't forget to give a short explanation for your answer. Good answer! The use of the words live the life you choose tells the audience that if you has the AXA insurance, he or she will get to live the kind of life that he or she wants. Now let's move on to the next advertisement. Very good! You are able to see that residual efficacy test on gram-positive germs versus ordinary soaps, which encourages choosy consumers that there is a good reason for choosing this brand of soap. And this is the next. That's correct. Endorsements of celebrities almost always fall under the technique called Ethos. Here, the ad made mention of one of Taylor's songs, Red, and used it in the tagline, "My kids are red," which tells fans that she uses the shoe brand. Congratulations for doing well in the practice drills. That means you can already clearly distinguish among pathos, ethos, and logos as persuasive techniques.
After knowing these techniques, especially in advertising, can you tell me the insights that you got from the lesson, especially in making choices and decisions based on the persuasive techniques that you see around you, whether in public billboards, television shows, on the internet, and even on your cell phones? That's very well said. Since we are being bombarded with a lot of persuasive techniques in almost all forms, whether online or offline, we should really be critical of what we see, view, and hear. We must check whether what a product or service claims is indeed true or not, and should not just rely on the attractive advertisements or commercials that we see. You mentioned that it is important to be critical of what is shown in ads. This practice is part of being media literate, especially in this world where everyone can access a lot of content from various sources. In this part of the lesson, you will read some other wise consumer tips so that you can be more media literate.
What is media literacy? Media literacy is the ability to identify different kinds of media and understand the messages they are sending. Students take in a huge amount of information from a wide array of sources far beyond the traditional media such as television, radio, and newspapers of most parents' youth. There are text messages, memes, viral videos, social media, video games, advertising, and more. But all media shares one thing. Someone created it, and it was created for a reason. Understanding that reason is the basis of media literacy. Now, why should you learn media literacy? Here are some reasons. 1. You learn to think critically. As you evaluate media, decide whether the messages make sense, why certain information was included, what wasn't included, and what the key ideas are. Then you can make up your own minds about the information based on the knowledge you already have. 2. You become a smart consumer of products and information. Media literacy helps you learn how to determine whether something is credible. It also helps determine the persuasive intent of advertising and resist the techniques marketers use to sell products. 3. You recognize point of view. Every creator has a perspective. Identifying an author's point of view helps you appreciate different perspectives. It also helps put information in the context of what you already know or think you know. 4. You create media responsibly. Recognizing your own point of view, saying what you want to say, and understanding that your messages have an impact is key to effective communication. 5. You identify the role of media in our culture. From celebrity gossip to magazine covers to memes, media is telling us something, shaping our understanding of the world, and even compelling us to act or think in certain ways. And 6. You understand the author's goal. What does the author want you to take away from the piece of media? Is it purely informative? Is it trying to change your mind? Or is it introducing you to new ideas you've never heard of? When you understand what type of influence something has, you can make informed choices. Here are some questions to ask when learning media literacy. First, who created this? Was it a company? Was it an individual? Was it an anonymous source? And why do you think they made it? 2. Why did they make it? Was it to inform you of something that happened in the world? Was it to change your mind or behavior? Was it to make you laugh? Was it to get you buy something? And why do you think that? 3. Who is the message for? Is it for kids, grown-ups, girls, boys, people who share a particular interest? Why do you think that? 4. What techniques are being used to make the message credible or believable? Does it have statistics from a reputable source? Does it contain quotes from a subject expert? Does it have an authoritative sounding voiceover? Is there direct evidence of the assertion it's making? 5. What details were left out and why? Is the information balanced with different views? Or does it present only one side? Do you need more information to fully understand the message? And 6. How did the message make you feel? Do you think others might feel the same way? Would everyone feel the same? Or would certain people disagree with you? As you become more aware of and exposed to news and current events, you can apply media literacy steps to radio, TV, and online information. Now, let's see if you are able to recall the concepts we have discussed today. For the evaluation, look at the posters from selected ads and tell the persuasive technique used. On the third column, explain how the technique was used. Assignment. Finally, for your assignment, I will be asking you to apply the concepts of Pathos, Ethos, and Logos in promoting a local product. I will give a list of products in which you are very familiar with, and then you're going to plan on how you can persuade other people from different parts of the country and even the world to buy or patronize the product. You can use a combination of the 2 or 3 techniques in your output. The output can either be any of the following. 1. A poster advertisement, and for this you can use either Publisher, Canva, or other publishing applications or platforms, and then print it using an A4 size paper. 2. A video advertisement. You can plan and create a simple 15-second ad and submit the MP4 via Facebook Messenger. And 3. A drawing advertisement. For this ad, you can use an A4 size paper and coloring materials. Here are the products to choose from. Take note that you can choose only one product as the subject of your advertisement. The first one is, and here's the second. The third alternative is, and the last one. Here is a sample poster advertisement from where you can get an idea. So this is about Bicol's Special Rice Puto. And here, the sample poster made use of the lines always freshly cooked, always healthy and filling. So this made use of the persuasive technique logos in which the words fresh and healthy appeal to logic and reason. Another persuasive technique used is this one. The use of pathos. The words special and loved ones appeal to emotions. And here is the rubric, which will serve as your guide in preparing the poster, the video, or the drawing advertisement. So you have 5 standards, which includes quality of output or construction, creativity, the use of persuasive techniques, graphics, relevance, and originality, and of course, the content.
Now that's a wrap for our lesson on the 3 persuasive techniques brought to us by our genius friend Aristotle. The next time you are being persuaded to buy a product or avail of services, think first if what is being offered to you is really worth it before you finally decide. Let's all be media and information literate.